This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
It is time to talk with Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio, the king of college football talk, hosting 6 to 9 on WNSR. And we always appreciate his visits Tuesdays here on Halftime. Good afternoon, Bill, and happy week one. How are you?
Hey, guys. Good to be with you.
Yeah, man, we're fired up. You remember Kerwin Bell? He is the head coach of Arkansas's opponent this weekend. Western Carolina is coming in Little Rock for the game, and Bell was a quarterback at Florida for 4 years, and he's in the Hall of Honor at the University of Florida, and he had himself a pretty interesting career, and he's been a successful head coach.
He was a walk-on top of that. Now, he certainly earned his way, right? But he was a walk-on.
Yeah, walk-on that turned himself into a conference player of the year, too. That's kind of nuts.
Yep.
We've kind of had this theme, Bill, going already with some portal guys. What was your thoughts on Hartman now? And I know Navy's defense isn't the best, but that Notre Dame team looks like, and Hartman, he was a 4-year starter there at Wake Forest, a lot of reps. They look like they easily going to win 9 games this year.
He brings 14,000 yards of total offense with him.
Wow.
From Wake Forest. 14,000, right at the top in history of the ACC. And in a game like that, they didn't run him because they don't need to. That kid can run, too. He can beat you in the running game, too. Now, again, they want to protect him until they just got to have it, like an Ohio State game or later the Clemson game, or they play Southern Cal towards the end, too. But, no, he's the best quarterback they've had there since either Brady Quinn or Jimmy Clausen. It's been a while. Deshaun Kaiser was a first-round draft pick about, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
To the Browns.
Hadn't done anything. Yeah, hadn't done anything, but this kid's better. They're stacked at running back. They've got the best pair of offensive tackles in America. They've got the best offensive lineman in America, their left tackle, Joe Alt. And they have a receiving corps that they did not have last year. It'll be interesting. Defensively, I thought they really stayed disciplined. Now, Navy's down, and you just mentioned that. Even by their standards, they're down. They don't have a player like Keenan Reynolds, their superstar quarterback, who, by the way, played right here in the city, high school ball. So they're down even by Navy standards and talent. So that was a mismatch. But, yeah, I thought Notre Dame looked solid. I agree.
What'd you think of Southern Cal? You know, obviously Williams looked great, and you expect that, but defense was their undoing last year. And, I mean, they won by a heavy margin, but you do wonder about whether or not the USC defense can withstand what looks like some pretty heavy offenses in the Pac-12 in its last year.
Rule of thumb that I have personally is I love watch those first games, but I try not to personally overbloviate about what I saw. Having said that, having qualified it, they don't look like they're fixed on defense. We need to get 3, 4, 5 games right before we can say for sure Lincoln Riley's going to score 1 million points and give up just under 1 million against good teams, probably, right? That's just the way it's been. That's the way it was at Oklahoma. That's the way it's been out there. And I don't think that's going to change.
Old-fashioned Big 12 football there for you, huh? Yeah,
yep.
Just the way it is.
They got a good receiver from Arizona that I think they were the number one receiver that went out there. They're going to be solid. Bill, I'm really looking forward to Thursday. I think this is a real matchup. I think it's going to be fun. The Utah lost last year, 29-26. You got Utah favored in this one. What are your thoughts? Can Utah keep up with the speed? As Florida had to do a little bit of help in the transfer portal, right?
Yeah, and their top receiver, Ricky Pearsall, who transferred from Arizona State 2 years ago, came back, which is good. That's the experience they have at receiver. They've got some young guys they think can help at receiver, but they don't have any experience. Running back ought to be fine for them. And, of course, we've talked a lot about Graham Mertz. Defense wasn't very good last year. It's got to get better. But here's the item. We don't know about Cam Rising, their quarterback at Utah and former Texas quarterback who transferred couple of years ago. He's a California kid, but we don't know his availability, and they're playing coy with that, which is their prerogative. And that would be the one holdup I would have on that game. Utah should be better. This will be the most physical team that Florida plays other than Georgia all year long, and that'll be a test as well. Now, guys, because of the hurricane coming, they are flying out. They might have already flown out, but they're flying out today to go to Texas. And then Wednesday, Florida flies from Texas out to Salt Lake City. So their travel plans changed a little bit, too.
Yeah, that's just odd. It feels like an NFL team getting out of the way in this case.
Right.
Florida State LSU this next Sunday. Best game of the weekend, no doubt. I think all across the country. LSU will not have Mason Smith at tackle, so we'll learn a little bit about their depth at defensive tackle at the very start. Where do you think LSU, if at all, is deficient anywhere?
Well, first of all, they got a very experienced, excellent quarterback in Jaden Daniels, who's a dual threat. Can hurt you either way, big time. Receiving core ought to be a problem for Florida State's secondary, and vice versa. Florida State has maybe the stoutest D-line in America with Jed Verse, who would have been a first-round pick a year ago. Braden Fisk, the defensive lineman in the portal that everybody in America wanted. And the other players that they have up there, they are thick and they are stout and they can rotate defensive linemen. That might be a difference in that ball game. It's going to be a hot Sunday night, real hot. People are going to need their IVs and everything else. It's going to be interesting, guys. I think it's about a pick'em game. LSU's favored by 2. I think the secondaries are at a disadvantage both ways, and whatever gives there probably will be the difference.
You think Daniels can win games with his arm? Because I've watched him on TV. He's made some impressive passes, but I remember watching him play against Arkansas last year. And, Bill, it was like he was a pitcher throwing a sinker ball. It didn't look good. Now, I know he's an incredible athlete, and we've seen quarterbacks at LSU transfer in and make a huge jump from first year to second year, thinking Joe Burrow. Yeah. I'm not saying Daniels going to make that kind of jump, but can he?
I think he's solid there. I don't think he's going to be an arm talent NFL guy that everybody's drooling over. Nussmeier behind him is a much more natural passer. And remember, Nussmeier played incredible against Georgia when he had to go in there in the SEC championship game. But yeah, I think so. That they've got the one diva receiver out of there. He's now a problem for the NFL. The receiving core is really good there. I don't think they're particularly special at running back. They're solid at running back. I don't know if they have a home run hitter there. And Florida State does have a home run hitter at running back. Guys, toss a coin. I'd probably take FSU just because it's Orlando. I know that's not their home, but I'll probably slightly go with them is my estimate.
A lot of intrigue for Alabama leading into this Middle Tennessee game, and really the intrigue started yesterday because Nick Saban announced he would not be releasing a depth chart and was kind of apologetic to the media about this. Is this all about quarterback? Is this all about whether or not you're going to have Jalen Milroe in there, or is this something deeper about the roster that we're just unsure about?
I have never, at least since Nick's been at Alabama, heard so much negativity from people about what's been going on in August there, whether it's the quarterback situation, whether it's the receiver situation, on and on and on. Now, again, got to be careful. This is the best it's ever done at Nick Saban. One pet peeve of Nick's, he's got several, is he hates depth chart talk. And even in the past when they've released a depth chart, if you suggest in a question something about a depth chart, he goes nuclear. He doesn't like it. It makes it look like he's not in control. Parents get mad because their kid's not starting. They see it on a depth chart on somebody's team site, right? The players don't like it because they're not getting to play according to somebody's depth chart. It drives him insane. So I'd say, number one, it's a pet peeve he's had forever. And number two, I think it's a testament that camp right now, there's a lot of question marks. And he doesn't want to put something out there.
Bill, with Caleb Williams, the returning Heisman Trophy winner, I don't know if America, he's going to have to do something special, I think, for him to win back-to-back Heisman trophies. Not saying that he can't do it. Is this the year a non-quarterback, kind of like Devontae Adams at Alabama? Could you see Marvin Harrison Jr. winning the Heisman? Give me 3 guys you think they could win the Heisman this year.
Well, Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to have the yardage. And by the way, they named Kyle McCord today. I don't know if that sticks because Devin Brown's considered the better player. He's younger. But Kyle McCord's going to be the quarterback. But that offense, we know, is conducive to putting up tons of yardage. So Marvin Harrison's going to get the numbers. They're also going to be a team good enough because you need to be ranked really high to win the Heisman. It's possible. I would say for a non-quarterback to win it, I'd give you about a 10-15% chance. But you've got Drake May, you've got Sam Hartman, you've got a myriad of quarterbacks who might be in it and might have a chance. And so it's still a long shot for somebody like Devontae Smith. Smitty just had a phenomenal year, but that's such a rarity. We might not see that again for another 30 years.
Well, and speaking of Drake May, a game that I'm going to have my eyes on is North Carolina, South Carolina, and Charlotte. And you got a Spencer Rattler who kind of reminds me of a Jeff Garcia type of quarterback. I haven't really seen Drake May play a lot, but do you think North Carolina can beat this South Carolina team?
North Carolina doesn't play defense. Now, that's been an issue, so I'm assuming we're going to have a bunch of points, a bunch of guys out in green grass running around with the ball. Drake May is the best way to describe him as the prototypical pro quarterback that you would draw it up. You'd sketch it up on a chalkboard. He's 6'5", he's 220 pounds, he's got a golden arm, he has all the throws, he's got a fastball, he's got a finesse ball, and he's smart. And he's from North Carolina family. Remember, his brother played basketball in North Carolina. It's a true Carolina Blue family. He's a phenomenal player, and frankly, he may be a better prospect than Caleb Williams. We'll have to see, and we don't need to worry about that right now. But that's how good he is. I'm guaranteeing you're going to be impressed.
I'm excited to watch him. And so would he kind of be like a Eli Manning maybe when you're kind of describing him? But I'm excited to watch him play. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's the size of the Mannings.
Yeah,
he's right in there. I think he's got a chance to be that kind of player down the road. Now, again, I don't watch much NFL, but obviously that will depend on where he goes, how well he's facilitated with players around him. But in the offense he's in right now with Mac Brown, he can put up 1 million points.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.